On matrimony.com is the first management on the show today. It reported a weak set of Q2 numbers. Company's revenue and EBITDA margin came in under pressure. Average transaction value also remains flat. To discuss this and more, we have Sushanth Pai, the CFO of matrimony.com, joining us. Good afternoon, Mr. Pai. Thank you so much for joining us. It appears to be another quarter where revenue growth as well as other metrics appear to be quite weak. What exactly led to this kind of a pressure in Q2?
Yeah. Good afternoon and good afternoon to all the viewers. Yes, Q2 has seen some pressure. Typically, it's a seasonal quarter and it's also come at the back of a weak Q1 as well. The main reason is I think we've seen a lot of inauspicious days in the last couple of quarters. That has led to the revenue decline in both these quarters. But as we see as of now, the wedding season is coming up. We are gearing for that. We have launched something called the Great Indian Matchmaking Fest. We are giving a lot of offers. We are tied up with a lot of brands for discounts. So we are gearing up for the wedding season. So we are hoping to see some amount of bounce back from a billing perspective. But from a revenue perspective, it is going to take a little time and it will come back only in Q4. But yeah, I think the main reason is seasonality.
Main reason seasonality, but then year on year, it shouldn't be a big dip, right? We just have to understand a couple of other things as well. The first half, revenues are down by about 3.5%. Given billing is down 5%, should we expect a negative growth even in the second half? What's your target for the full year?
Yeah, so, we don't give any guidance. We have to see how things go along. But the way we see Q3, the billings will bounce back. On a year-on-year basis, there will be some bounce back and even on a quarter-on-quarter basis. However, we have a lag between the billing and revenue because of the subscription period. So therefore, we believe Q4 will be stronger. So as we go along, we need to see how the year pans out. But right now, that's how we are seeing Q3 and Q4.
Okay, Mr. Pai, in terms of FY25, could you give us a guidance as to how exactly you expect revenue growth, EBITDA growth, margins as well as PAT? When you say that you expect Q4 to be a stronger quarter compared to Q3, will Q3 be weaker compared to Q2 as well?
No, Q3 will be better than Q2 in terms of billings, but there will be a revenue decline. Like I said, since Q2 has been a muted quarter in billings, when I mean billings, that's the collections, right? When the collections are low, the gap revenue for the next quarter takes some pressure. So that's why I said Q3 will bounce back on the collections, and that collections will have a better impact in Q4. So therefore, in Q4, we see better growth and, we want to end the year on a strong note as well. So that's the way we see. So on a full year, I think because of 2 quarters of decline and also third quarter revenue also, not growing, overall, there will be a muted sort of a growth for the full year as well.
Right. Apart from business, what's interesting is that increasingly there are a bunch of, profiles which have not enough authenticity. I mean, recently we saw, something go viral online where there was image, what do you call it? The image of the person who said it, there was identity theft, simply put. What are you doing to, ensure that that doesn't happen? How are you trying to increase safety measures here? Because the business, while it is important for you to, have premium verified profiles and get people married, etc., it also has that element of trust. What are you doing to fix that?
Yeah, so I know where you picked this up from. And clearly, the whole messaging is a little bit of distortion. There is a distortion there. However, first, let me address the distortion. There is a claim that this is part of elite matrimony. Firstly, I want to clarify that elite matrimony is not listed anywhere on a platform because it's a confidential database. However, some issue has happened on a common platform, which is on the Bharat Matrimony platform. While we understand what happens is the profile is created by someone else. Bharat Matrimony or, our company does not create a profile. So if there is a fraudulent profile created, in this case, somebody has uploaded that image of some person here. It's just that, on a base of 6-7 million profiles, there could be some flaw in terms of something would have fallen out. But that's a very minuscule number. So I think people should not get petrified of platforms like this. We have our own fraud detection mechanisms. We use a lot of AI intelligence to weed away fraud profiles. So we also want to amplify that we are a very safe platform. If you see, we are also spending money in in amplifying that. For example, a few months back, we had a tie-up with Vidya Balan to talk about safety and of matrimony sites. What should people do
Right.
in terms of being safe? So I think we are doing all what it takes, but it can happen because we are a platform play, and sometimes certain verification mechanics will go out of the radar because it cannot be foolproof. But as an industry, I think
Right.
we are going to take more and more steps to make the platform safe.
Mr. Pai, let's talk about the average transaction value. For the past many quarters, it's remained steady. In fact, some marginal decline being seen over there as well. Now, in the context of heavy ad spends that you do, why is it so tough to go ahead and increase the average transaction value? It continues to remain in the range of 4,400 to 4,500. So when can we see that moving higher?
Yeah. So clearly, I want to clarify the average transaction value is just an outcome of our strategies. So for example, we don't have a target average transaction value. When I mean outcome of the strategies, the market is very complex, right? It has north, west, east, south. We have 300 plus communities. So we do our own segmentation strategies to price every, segment or every market. So it's an outcome of that. The second complication also is it's also a culmination of various products that we have. For example, we have a basic 3-month package. We have Jodi, which is in the vernacular play where the average transaction value is very low. And we have personalized services where the average transaction value is very high. So the proportion of all of this contributes to the average transaction value. So we are not too worried about it because it's an outcome. I think as long as that we continue to grow, and we see paid profiles growing, and average transaction value is what it is.
What is the expected growth that you have in paid profiles? How many have you added this year and so far, and what's the average addition per year?
Yeah, so typically, we add, for example, in this quarter, our paid profiles was somewhere in the region of 2.6 lakhs. That's the sort of number that we have. So that's the amount of paid profiles that we add on a quarter-on-quarter basis. So broadly, our strategy is that, when we grow, broadly, it should come out of the paid profile growth. The ATV will be sort of, flattish to some plus or minus sort of.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Pai, for joining us. We wish you the very best for a strong H2. Let's now slip into a short break. We will get you more on the markets and stock-specific action on the other side.